Marriage has always been one of humanity's greatest teachers. It stretches us, breaks us open, refines us, and teaches us the delicate balance between individuality and unity. And at the center of every thriving marriage, beneath the shared dreams, the intertwined lives, and the quiet promises, is one crucial thread: communication. Communication is not merely the words we speak. It is the energy we give off. It is the tone we use. It is the silence we keep. It is the expression in our eyes, the tension in our shoulders, the way we breathe when we're hurt, and the way we lean in when we're trying to understand. Communication is the way two people say, "We're in this together," even when everything feels like it's falling apart. But here's the truth we often forget. It's not love alone that makes a marriage work. It's how love is communicated. And that's why communication styles, how we express ourselves, how we listen, and how we reveal our inner world, can shape the entire destiny of a relationship. Today, I want to take you on a journey. A journey through the heart of connection. A journey into ourselves. A journey that helps us understand how communication styles can strengthen, save, or shatter a marriage, and what we can do to communicate in a way that builds love, instead of breaking it. The silent architects of marriage, are communication styles. Every one of us walks into marriage with a unique communication style, an invisible blueprint shaped by childhood experiences, past relationships, and our emotional worldview. Some of us grew up in homes where feelings were expressed loudly, passionately, sometimes explosively. Some of us grew up in homes where feelings were whispered, restrained, or left unspoken. Some of us learned to defend ourselves with silence. Some learned to defend themselves with words. And when two people with two different styles collide, there can be misunderstanding, hurt, and distance, not because love is lacking, but because understanding is lacking. Consider this. One partner communicates through problems, openly, instantly, directly. The other communicates through silence, internally processing, quietly withdrawing, needing time. Neither style is wrong, but when misunderstood, both styles can feel like betrayal. A direct communicator may feel abandoned. A quiet communicator may feel attacked. What begins as a simple difference in communication styles becomes a misunderstanding. What becomes a misunderstanding becomes conflict. And what becomes conflict, if not healed, can become resentment. Because in marriage, it's never about who's right or wrong. It's about whether two people can understand each other's hearts. 2. The emotional bridges we build. Communication in marriage is a bridge, sometimes sturdy, sometimes fragile, sometimes under construction. But that bridge allows two different worlds to meet. A marriage thrives when the bridge is open. It weakens when the bridge is blocked. It dies when the bridge collapses. The real power of communication is not in talking, it's in connection. You can talk all day and still not communicate. You can speak the same language and still not understand each other. You can share a home and still feel worlds apart. True communication is the courage to say, "I want to understand you. I want you to understand me. I want this to work." Because marriage is not built by perfect people, it's built by willing people. 3. The 4 common communication styles in marriage. To understand how communication shapes marriage, we need to understand the 4 primary communication styles most couples experience. 1. The direct speaker. This person is clear, straightforward, expressive. They value honesty, transparency, and immediate resolution. They feel respected when things are talked about openly. But they may also come across as blunt, overwhelming, or too intense for a partner who needs time and space. 2. The reflective listener. This person needs time to process. They think before they speak. They don't like conflict and prefer calm conversations. They feel respected when their internal space is honored. But they may be misunderstood as distant, uninterested, or emotionally unavailable. 3. The emotional communicator. This person expresses deeply, passionately, emotionally. They wear their heart on their sleeve and desire emotional connection. But they can overwhelm a partner who communicates with logic or attempts to solve rather than empathize. 4. The logical problem solver. This partner communicates through precision, reasoning, and solutions. They value clarity, structure, and resolution. But when a partner is emotional, this style can feel dismissive, cold, or uninterested in feelings. Now here's where marriages begin to fracture, not because of these styles individually, but because we expect our partner to speak the way we do, to process the way we do, To feel the way we do. But love is not about making someone become you. Love is learning how to speak their language. IV. Marriage is not about winning, it's about understanding. When two communication styles clash, the instinct is to defend, argue, or retreat. But marriage requires something deeper. Understanding. And understanding means hearing the meaning behind the words, noticing the emotion behind the silence, recognizing that your partner's style was shaped long before you met, being willing to learn a new way of speaking if it protects the relationship. Think of communication as the emotional currency of love. Some couples spend generously, affection, words, reassurance, vulnerability. Others save tightly, quiet, guarded, afraid of being hurt. Others invest only when necessary, practical, structured. Others spend impulsively, emotional, passionate. For a marriage to prosper, the currency must be exchanged, not hoarded, not stolen, not wasted, but shared. When communication feels safe, love grows. When communication feels dangerous, love hides. V. The most common communication mistakes in marriage. If we want to strengthen relationships, we must understand the hidden patterns that destroy them. 1. Hearing to respond instead of hearing to understand. Most arguments escalate because both partners are defending themselves, not listening to each other. 2. Assuming instead of asking. How many marriages suffer because someone assumes? He doesn't care. She doesn't understand. He's ignoring me. She's mad at me. Assumptions build walls. Questions build bridges. 3. Speaking in anger instead of speaking in truth. Hurt feelings distort vocabulary. When emotions are high, wisdom is low. Harsh words echo long after the argument ends. 4. Avoiding conversations out of fear. Silence is not peace. Silence is a slow erosion of connection. 5. Believing that love should be intuitive. Love is not mind reading. Marriage requires clarity, not guessing. V. The transformative style. Conscious communication. There is one communication style that can transform any marriage, regardless of the personalities involved: conscious communication. Conscious communication means you speak with awareness, you listen with intention, you respond with compassion, you pause instead of reacting, you choose connection instead of ego. A conscious communicator does not speak to win. They speak to understand. They speak to soothe. They speak to build. They speak to heal. Imagine a marriage where my goal is not to defeat you. My goal is to understand you. I am not your opponent. I am your partner. We are on the same side, even when we disagree. That is how communication rescues marriages. That is how communication rekindles love. That is how communication builds forever. 7. How communication styles shape the success of marriage. To understand how deeply communication shapes marriage, consider this truth. Every major success or failure in a relationship is rooted in communication. When marriages thrive, it's because communication lifted the relationship. When marriages crumble, it's because communication broke down long before the love did. Communication shapes trust. When you communicate reliably, your partner feels secure. When communication is inconsistent, they feel uncertain. Communication shapes intimacy. When you share openly, you grow closer. When you hide your feelings, you grow apart. Communication shapes conflict. The way you disagree determines whether the relationship strengthens or weakens. Communication shapes emotional safety. If your partner feels safe to talk, the relationship deepens. If they feel judged or misunderstood, they shut down. Communication shapes the future. The dreams you talk about become goals. The goals you plan become actions. The actions you take together become your life. Marriage succeeds not because the couple never struggles, but because they communicate their way through the struggle. 8. The 4 skills every couple must master. Strong marriage communication isn't a gift, it's a skill. And skills can be learned, practiced, and mastered. 1. The skill of honest expression. Say what you feel. Say what you need. Say what hurts. Say what you fear. Your partner cannot love a version of you that you hide. 2. The skill of deep listening. Listen without interrupting. Listen without defending. Listen without preparing your comeback. Sometimes the most loving thing you can say is nothing, just listen. 3. The skill of emotional regulation. You don't have to speak when your emotions are loud. You don't have to argue just because your feelings demand it. Take a breath. Take a pause. Take perspective. Reacting is human. Responding is love. 4. The skill of compassionate interpretation. Always choose the most generous interpretation of your partner's actions, tone, or silence. Not, she ignored me, but, maybe she's overwhelmed. Not, he doesn't care, but, maybe he doesn't know how to show it right now. Compassion softens the sharp edges of communication. Ix. The power of love languages and communication. Every person communicates love differently. Some through words, some through silence, some through touch, some through acts of service, some through quality time, some through giving. Miscommunication in marriage happens when one person speaks love in a language the other person doesn't recognize. A partner who expresses love through action may feel unappreciated by a partner who expresses love through words. A partner who expresses love through touch may feel rejected by a partner who communicates through space. A partner who communicates emotionally may feel disconnected from a partner who communicates logically. To thrive in marriage, we must learn our partner's language, not force them to speak ours. Love is not about what feels natural to you. It's about what makes your partner feel loved. X. When communication heals. Every couple goes through seasons when communication breaks down. Times when conversations feel like minefields. Times when silence becomes the default. Times when misunderstandings pile up like debris. But communication can also be the doorway to healing. Healing begins when someone says, I don't want to fight, I want to understand. I'm not attacking you, I'm reaching for you. I don't want to win, I want us to win. I don't want distance, I want closeness. I don't want blame, I want restoration. A marriage is healed by small conversations, small confessions, small moments of vulnerability that say, I still want you. I still choose you. I still believe in us. Because communication is not just words, it's hope. 11. The courage to communicate. It takes courage to speak your truth. It takes courage to reveal your wounds. It takes courage to ask for what you need. It takes courage to admit when you're wrong. It takes courage to listen when you feel attacked. It takes courage to stay present when you want to shut down. And it takes courage to keep trying. Even after misunderstandings, even after hurt, even after disappointment. Marriage requires two people who refuse to give up on communicating, even when it's uncomfortable. Because silence is easy. Distance is easy. Numbing your feelings is easy. Withdrawing is easy. Shutting down is easy. But love was never supposed to be easy. Love is supposed to be worth it. 12. The we mindset, the heart of marriage communication. The strongest marriages communicate with a we mindset, not a me mindset. Me says, I'm right. My way makes sense. You're the problem. We says, what can we learn from this? How can we grow? How can we understand each other better? Marriage is not two people losing themselves, it's two people building a shared world where both personalities, both communication styles, and both emotional needs are honored. When two people say, I'm committed to understanding you, communication becomes the anchor of the relationship. 13. The promise of better communication. If there's one promise communication gives to marriage, it is this. Every relationship can heal when two people are willing to communicate with honesty, humility, and compassion. You don't need to be perfect communicators. You just need to be willing ones. You don't need to always find the right words. You just need to speak with love. You don't need to fully agree. You just need to understand. Because marriage is not built by grand gestures, it's built by daily conversations. The conversations where you check in. The conversations where you clarify. The conversations where you apologize. The conversations where you reassure. The conversations where you say, I love you, in the language your partner understands. 14. Communication is the lifeline of love. So, how do communication styles shape the success of marriage? They shape everything. They shape how you fight, how you forgive, how you connect, how you love, how you build a future, how you stay together when storms come. Communication is the lifeline of love. It is the pulse of connection. It is the glue that holds two hearts together. It is the map that guides two different people toward one shared destiny. Marriage thrives not when communication is perfect, but when communication is intentional. It succeeds when two people say, I choose to understand you. I choose to hear you. I choose to learn your language. I choose us. Every day. Always. And if you can keep choosing communication, you can keep choosing each other. For a lifetime.